Zmeskal, USA, world champion. She is here to take her title back. Coach Bella Caroli expects nothing less. Last year's American Cup, Betty Opino exploded on the world scene. She even looked the part of a determined champion. Invincible, she won the crown. But what a year it's been. Series of injuries has lowered her star. She still aims for Barcelona, but today she watches from home. Last year, Kim Zmeskal was in turmoil. There was a crisis of confidence, injuries, frayed relations with Coach Caroli. But she overcame those hurdles to become the first ever American woman to win a world all-around championship. As always, a new sensation waits in the wings. At 14, Shannon Miller is shy and vulnerable. Today, we'll see if her time has come. Not part of the Caroli machine, Shannon glows at the realistic thought of winning her first American Cup. Hungarian Henrietta Onodi may well surprise in Barcelona. Momentum from a win on American soil could propel her to a medal. And 17-year-old Svetlana Kozlova may well be Russia's secret weapon at the Olympics. The magic of the 5 rings. The journey continues today from Orlando. Central Florida, Orlando. The Orlando Arena just a few weeks ago, the site of the NBA All-Star Game, and today it's the elite stars of gymnastics in the 17th annual American Cup. Hello, everyone. 19 countries represented, and it's boiled down today in the final competition. The top 8 men, the top 8 women vying for the gold medal in this competition. It all gives us a chance to make some evaluations as we look ahead to Barcelona. And on the women's side, perhaps the American competitors in this sport have never been so strong nor so deep. And you're going to see an example of that today. We welcome Elfie Schlegel, Elfie from Canada, an Olympian, a national champion, and of course, Tim Daggett, our veteran commentator in gymnastics. And Elfie, as you look at the young women, of course, Kim Zmeskal initially the world champion. How does this competition shape up for you?
Well, the competition is definitely shaping up between a battle between Kim Zmeskal and Shannon Miller. These two have looked very strong in the qualification competition. However, Kim has had some slight problems with her ankles. It'll be interesting to see how she fares in today's competition. She's a very tough competitor, and I'm sure she'll put that past her. She has a lot of experience, and she thrives on competition. Shannon, on the other hand, her coach Steve Nuno came up to us just moments before the competition to inform us that Shannon has had a slight hamstring pull. You can see that he's stretching her out there. So Shannon is looking to be in the top here at the American Cup. She has never been in the finals before, and she feels that today's her day.
All right, now let's go to the men's, and we've had an exciting moment already here in Orlando. Scott Keswick, they call him the King of Rings. He's won the national championship 3 times in that event, has just scored his first ever perfect 10, Tim Daggett.
That's right. Scott tried to make a liar out of me a little earlier. I said Scott took himself out of the competition with a mistake on floor exercise. No mistake here at all. He is so strong. Look at that. A back roll right to a cross and pulls out of it. On the still rings, it's critical to not just do the requirements of the strength skills, but to be extra strong, and he'll show us one more strength part. But of course, still rings is more than just strength stick. You have to show tremendous swing right through that handstand, and if you're going to get a 10, you got to stick to dismount, and it's a big one. 2 twists, 2 flips, double twist, and he rocks the landing.
The 22-year-old UCLA star. He's from Las Vegas, Nevada. He scored 10th in the all-around in the world competition in Indianapolis. Scott Keswick, and that's the first 10 in this competition in 12 years since Kurt Thomas scored the perfect 10 in the high bar in 1980. Now we go live into the third rotation of 4 for the women, and this is the lovely Hungarian 17-year-old Henrietta Onodi on the uneven bars.
Henrietta is very strong on this event, Dick. You'll find that she does such a variety of skills, and she does not ignore the low bar, and that's important because today in the competition, the girls often just use the low bar as just a transition to get back up to the high bar.
First major release skill at Ginger, and there's her second release. Ginger salto.
And what's important here is Henrietta's release skills, where she will be deducted if she does not quite show enough amplitude on these skills. You can't take anything away from her in this routine. The form is impeccable. So taking out a flyweight double back knee.
17-year-old Nona D, considered the best Hungarian gymnast in the last decade. She's been #1 for her country for the past 4 years. A little step on the dismount. In this rotation, the men are on the vault, and the current leader after 3 rotations, Jared Hanks of the United States, is up next. There's Hanks, who has really come out of nowhere, and that has to give the men's depth in their future a big boost.
Well, it certainly does. He just won our recent Winter Nationals in Colorado Springs. That was his first major win in his career, and he's right on track to come home with an American Cup title, but there is a tremendous talent, a young Russian star named Dmitry Karbonenko, who is so powerful on this next event that we'll be looking at. So Hanks has got to show us a great ball.
There's the 18-year-old Karbonenko, trains in Moscow. He grew up on the Baltic Sea, and he does something very special, does he not? Anoti's score is being posted, 9.825 for Anoti, who is in the top 4 into this rotation.
And Dick, the critical thing in a competition like the American Cup for Jared Hanks, he has got to stick the landing. It comes down to an excellent push off the horse, and he better spot that ground because his feet can't move when they touch it. Good push, and a little bit short. Oh, he really has to struggle for that landing. He almost sat down. That would have been a disaster at this point.
And Scott Keswick, who had scored the 10 in the ring in the vault just a few moments ago, didn't land cleanly, had a major deduction, and Keswick might have taken himself out of chances for the goal today.
Now, from this angle, you'll see that he needs an excellent push, but doesn't have enough rotation to get it around and has to take 2 big steps back. Actually almost bumps into the horse there. That's going to be a severe deduction.
As the rotations develop, the men and women alternate, and it's difficult to really measure where they stand, although Hanks needed only an 8.8 to go into first place after 4 rotations. He earns a 9.45, but Karbonenko is yet to vault, and he has the kind of material in his arsenal, does the young Russian, that could score up in the 9.9s or even better.
Yeah, the most difficult vault being done in the world. He actually does a triple on the vaulting.
Kim Zemeskel, you're looking at her live, the world champion. She and Shannon Miller battled last night in the qualifying, and Shannon Miller, for the first time ever in their head-to-head competition, defeated the 16-year-old Zemeskel. They go head-to-head today. They're looking ahead to the 3rd rotations. Let's take you back to the vault. We're going to go to the bars. They're being corrected now. The uneven bars, the 2nd rotation. And this is Shannon Miller, who is just slightly behind Zemeskel after the 1st rotation.
Dick, if there was one event where Shannon Miller could take the lead, it would be this event. And that is because she is the silver medalist in the world on this apparatus. She is outstanding. Now, you'll see a lot of release skills. In fact, most of the girls at this level of competition will perform at least 2 release skills. There's Shannon's 2nd. Perfectly done. She has such beautiful form. You can see her legs are glued together. A super tough twist now. Full twisting double back and perfect landing.
And her score, 9.937. Well earned. So that puts them they were in a virtual deadlock for first place. So let's go now to Zemeskel's routine.
The pressure is definitely on Kim. This is not her best event, but she has improved greatly, mostly in the area of her amplitude and her release skills. And you'll see that right here. Second release skill. Moving very well. You can see her legs nice and tight together. Open delay, double pipe dismount.
Although she had a little bounce at the end, scored very well.
Now there's her first release skill. It's called a ginger, and she takes it sky high. Unlike Anodi, I'd mentioned the amplitude was not quite there. And there's a dismount, a delayed open double pipe, and a small step on the landing that will cost her.
But Zemeskel scores slightly under that of Miller in the uneven bars, but it kept her in a lead. 300, not 3/10, 300 of a point separating Shannon Miller from Kim Zemeskel in the battle for first place. 2 rotations to go. Now we go live to the men's vault, and here is the 18-year-old from Kaliningrad, Dmitry Karvanyenko. This may be his strongest of the 6 rotations.
Oh, he is so powerful on this event. Remember earlier I said he actually does a triple somersault on this event. One of the few performing this vault in the world.
He was the top qualifier, finishing ahead of Scott Keswick and Jared Hanks after last night's competition. Spirited young guy. He loves American sports. He says he watches the NBA. He rattled off Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Magic Johnson.
As a matter of fact, he knew that Magic Johnson played in that great game just weeks ago right here. Now watch this 3-flip, incredible power. Oh, he's a little long.
Oh, my.
Boy, and you know what is so amazing about that, Dick, is technically, I've seen him do that vault much better, but he is so tough. He was not going to sit that one down.
Currently 3rd on the Russian national team, and this crowd giving him a thunderous round of applause.
Kind of misses his block just a little bit here, but boy, did he ever pull those legs around. 3 flips, and that's a tremendous force on the legs when you land, but he's a strong kid.
His first trip to the United States, he said, I couldn't wait to go to Disney World and see the American women.
And I have never seen a Russian athlete smile as much as this kid. He is really, really a fabulous athlete.
As we wait for Karvanyenko's marks, here is his countrywoman, fellow competitor, Svetlana Kozlova. She's 17. She's battling to make the Russian Olympic team. She's currently ranked 8th, so this is a very important time for Kozlova. Meanwhile, Karvanyenko, wow, 9.80.
I've got to tell you, Dick, that is just too low. I mean, it's so difficult. He did it so well. You got to give him the benefit of a doubt. Yeah, he did take a little step, but that is an incredibly difficult vault. Should have scored higher.
Now Kozlova on the uneven bars.
And Dick, she is your typical Russian athlete, very classy, beautiful lines on this event, and she moves so fluidly from bar to bar. There's her first release skill. She does have 2 release skills planned, the second one being in Pikachu. Very well done. Her coach, I chatted with her coach before the competition. He said she's very capable of throwing almost any dismount in the book. That was a double A.
Welcome back. We understand that Karvanyenko and Hanks are tied for first. We'll have more when we return to Orlando.
McDonald's presents Donald today. By Visa, official card and traveler's check of the 1992 Olympic Games. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And by Texaco, official sponsor of the 1992 U.S. Olympic team.